What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. It's me, Alganai here, and today we are going to be reacting, not really reacting, but responding, actually, to why does the church still teach that LGBTQ people are sinful by Skeptic Pastor. Um, okay, like, I don't know why people are still saying that LGBTQ stuff, well, okay, I guess, not LGBTQ stuff, that might be but like, homosexuality. I don't know why people are still saying in this day and age, where in Christianity, why homosexuality isn't a sin. Like it says it all over the Bible. Like, come on. Hold on. Let's turn up the. What's the quality here? Hold on. Quality. Let's do 720p here. So I think he said why the word homosexuality was added to the Bible in 1946. Yeah, sure. Like, because homosexuality at one point wasn't a word in English. Like, it's actually mixed between some Greek words, homo, which is like the same, and then sexuality, which I think might actually be Latin, but I don't know. It's a mesh between those two words. So it just means same, like same sex, right? It's basically for same sex attraction, right? So as you can see, there's two elements in there that puts us together. The word in the Bible for homosexuality is arsenokoitai, or arsenokoitai, actually, technically, for the biblical Greek pronunciation at the time of Jesus. But anyway, it's the word means arsen. I'm saying it kind of wrong. But is like man, and then koitai or koite, technically depending on the time period, is bed. So it literally means man bed. And bed, this bed here is koitai is the kind of, I think, where we get the word coitus, basically meaning sexual activities and stuff. So basically, it basically has a sexual connotation. I was kind of trying to censor it there, my bad. But it has a sexual connotation. So basically, it means a man who beds other men, basically. Even if you do interpret this, I guess, as a dominant homosexual partner, there's also a place that says in the Bible. There's also by that says malakoi, which is like submissive, I think. So it's like more like, so you can translate it as, I guess, dominant homosexual partners and submissive homosexual partners. Basically, it talks about basically just both of them being bad, or both of them being sins, at least. Nice to meet you, Jeremy. Deep skeptic. Skeptic of what? Christianity? Because literally, you're a pastor. How can you be a skeptic and a pastor? Like, doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so is there any other correct ones? Like, how can there be other correct interpretations? Is there just one interpretation that's right? Doctrine. I feel like that comes with a negative connotation and stuff, but. Well, what do you mean all of these people are going to hell? Because technically, like, if all you did was simply like have sexual activities with another man as a man, right? It's not like you can't be forgiven from that, and now you're destined to go to hell for all eternity. I mean, sure, like sin, the price of sin is death in the Bible, obviously. Like, we go to hell for lying. Well, we'd go to hell for lying, of course, if it wasn't for Jesus, or if it wasn't for some kind of sacrifice, which is Jesus. And if it wasn't for Jesus, we wouldn't be able to have faith in Him and trust in Him and get our sins paid for. So, I mean, of course, what he's saying is only like one half of the good news. Is that one half of the message? That, okay, sure, because the thing is, what's the message without You know, what's getting saved from something without knowing what you're getting saved from, you know? Well, yes, you would well, Jesus saves, not you, but you know. Okay. Let's see what those are. How? What do you mean? Like, are you talking like transgender surgery? Like you're giving their, or what? Like or make or like so? I mean, I don't know if it goes as far as say that, but like protecting queer kids and giving them a place to make their own decisions. What own decisions? They are kids, okay? They are kids. They are children. They are children. So you're affirming them in what they say what they might say they are. Like if they say they're a woman and they're like if a kid says, "Oh, I'm a woman," but they were born a boy, and they say they're a girl, does that make them a girl? Like um seriously, like why would like you're affirming that? So in a sense, you might be indoctrinating them too, or you're not helping them in that sense. You're not helping them love themselves for who they are instead of who they want to be or what they want to be. Well, you're the one using the word indoctrination here. Okay, and that kind of has a negative connotation of us versus them. I'll say, but I mean, even if it doesn't, like, how is it like us versus them? I mean, sure, it's like light versus darkness, but we're taught to love our neighbor. Okay, like it's not like the Bible teaches to slay your neighbor or slay the unbelievers or anything. Okay, then I would bring it to you and I would say, okay, well, if you found out that your now new interpretation is actually wrong and somehow actually the interpretation that you started with, that homosexuality is a sin, is actually biblical, would you change your mind on that? Or would you double down? What would you do? That would be my question to him. What would he do? What would you do? Would you do the thing that you're saying you shouldn't do? Jesus says, if you love me, you keep my commandments. Okay, I'm not saying that, you have to do good works to be saved. I'm not saying that's faith alone. But, which so far that's okay. It's good to like pass it down generation to generation. Keep your kids Christian. To so to make sure ensure they're saved. How? I mean, literally, where is any of this like? I guess this is why does the church still teach that LGBT people are sinful? But like, what's wrong with teaching that then? Okay, so you want your kid to be sexually pure. You don't want your kid to have sex outside of marriage. Until they you don't want them to have sex until their marriage, right? Okay, but that apparently it's a bad thing. Why is that a bad thing? You're respecting your partner by not going out and doing activities with a bunch of other people before you go with them. You're saving yourself for them. Isn't that respect? Isn't that love? Well, if you teach biblically, God can forgive you. Obviously, the message is that Jesus can forgive you, right? You just go to Him, get forgiven. Okay, boom. Like if you just don't willfully sin. If you willfully sin, go to God. Repent from that. Like there you go. There's no need to have guilt after that. How is this scapegoat? Okay, give some examples because like a useful scapegoat for their anxiety around sexual sin. Like how? Like I think this is just like I don't know if this guy's making stuff up. I don't know how he gets this. Like there are a lot of churches, I'm sure, that don't teach biblical stuff about homosexuality. That teach that homosexuality is not a sin. They do gay marriages there. But are they studying it from a bias? Because the people usually in churches like these, or at least the LGBTQ churches, like affirming churches, are LGBTQ themselves. I think. Um, and if they are, in the case that they are, why wouldn't they have a bias against what they already, or against what they don't believe already? Why would they not have a bias for what they believe already? Like, wouldn't that also have a similar problem of them? Why wouldn't they also um try to double down on their beliefs? Have trouble when admitting they're wrong, like he said earlier. Gaychurch.org. You see, it's interesting how he says that the ones that say homosexuality is a sin are the ones that are obsessed with sexual sin. But I would say it's actually the other way around. It's the ones who are affirming sexual sin that are obsessed with sexual sin, because they're the ones going to literal parades about the sin, about literal sexual sin. They're the ones going to these parades, right? They're the people. A lot of the people like who are LGBTQ, like they're affirming people, they are affirming the sin, and they're the ones that are so seem to be so obsessed about it, and that literally obsessed enough to call their church literally gay church, or at least their website gay church. Like why is this so important? You have to put it literally right before the word church. Why not Christ Church? Why not? Because Christ is the one who saves you from sins after all. Like he's the one who like why would that not be more important than being gay? Like it's there's so much emphasis on being gay and about these identity politics, on like politics about like what you identify as, or like how you what you do in the bedroom. It's already known. The identity politics takes. Okay, I'm stuttering because like my bad. Identity politics is already known for being like obsessed with like what people do in the bedroom, and being obsessed for like with like these things. I mean, like I've heard like you hear LGBTQ people talk about being gay, like they'll just tell, oh, you're so gay, like they'll say stuff like that, and literally it's like it's why is it such a big part of you? Why? It's not like Christianity or religion where it's literally your entire worldview. Why should you view your entire world? Why should you view your entire world and everything you see out of a lens of being gay? Why should you ever do that? Why should you ever do that? Like religion, like like Christianity, I get, because Jesus saved you from sin, and there's morals in there, there's teachings in there, but what teachings and morals does being gay, the idea of you, like, whoever you want to have activities within the bedroom, why are you viewing the world through that lens? Like, there's no teachings in that, really. Like, why? So are you saying LGBTQ, or at least gay sexuality is a sin, is bad? You're saying that it's harming them? How is it harming them by saying it's a sin? Like, what harms them if they choose not to have sex until marriage, or at least with a woman, or if they just choose to be celibate? What's harming them there? Anyway, um, thank you guys for watching this video. Tell me in the comments what you guys think. Is he correct or not? Is homosexuality a sin? If so, how do you know? If not, how is it not a sin? How do you know it's not a sin? How do you know the Bible says it's not a sin when it's in different places of the Bible? Anyway, I actually expected to have to do some do some searches here to show you guys some verses, but I did not really have to do that because he didn't really bring any evidence biblically showing why homosexuality isn't a sin in his view. But thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good night out. Bye.